Hi, this is Jeff Ankline with Waterstone Mortgage. This morning, I would like to talk about a rate and housing forecast for 2023. So, what's going to happen with interest rates? The biggest driver of interest rates is inflation. As you can see here, the blue line is interest rates. And you can see compared to the red line, which is inflation, when inflation goes up, you'll see interest rates start to go up as well. Inflation comes down, interest rates start to improve, right? Inflation drives long-term interest rates. So what's going on with inflation? If we take a look, these are the month over month inflation numbers. All right. If we look last year in July, August, and September, we saw a big spike come in October, November, and December. January, and kind of ongoing, right? And that's been our history now for the last year. If we look over here, we can see that the Federal Reserve's efforts have started to show an improvement in October and November, and December numbers came out and they continued to show improvement. So you're going to continue to see improvement in our long-term interest rates. Back in October, when a year ago they shot up, our interest rates this year went up to 7.25. They have now come down over the last few months into the low sixes, and we expect this track to continue so that by the time in another 90, let's say 90 to 150 days, we expect rates to be into the low 5% area. All right, so a nice improvement. There's a recession coming, according to all the pundits, right? And what does that mean for real estate is what we really care about. So what we see here in terms of a recession coming, we see a big spike, right, over the last couple of years in credit card usage. We also see a big decrease in the savings rate. All right, these are statistics that portend a recession coming. But what does that mean for real estate? Since the 1960s, we've had nine, right? These dark lines are 9 separate instances of recession. You can see that home prices have appreciated through all of them except in 2008, when in fact there was a bubble here. And we'll explain what caused this bubble and why that's not the case going forward right now. But this bubble in the last recession was really the challenge as opposed to a general recession like we've had before this. So let's take a look. Are we headed for another real estate crash? So, a few things. Before 2008, when we had the crash, you can see that almost 35% of mortgages were adjustable rate mortgages. All right. Since then, we've had very safe, long-term, mainly 30-year fixed rate mortgages. All right. Before the crash, we had a lot of mortgage production that was with credit scores below 620. As you can see here, since that crash, a significantly lower percentage of mortgages are below 620. It's a lot tougher to get a mortgage today than it was before the crash happened, right? Before the crash, over 40% of the mortgages originated were subprime mortgages, meaning high-risk mortgages. Since then, they've, in large part, been legislated out of existence. To tell you the truth, and less than 10%, more like 9% of mortgages originated are these other subprime mortgages, right? So, unlikely to be a foreclosure crisis moving forward because of the quality and the safety of the mortgages that have been originated. So, housing, supply and demand, the basic economics behind this. Let's take a look at what's driving home price appreciation. The number of households since 2007 has increased by 14 million. There's 14 million more households that would like to buy a home than there were back in 2007. There's at the same time almost 3 million fewer homes available to be purchased. So supply and demand is very far out of balance, right? This is what's driving our home prices up. All right. So you can see that over the last 10 years, home prices have appreciated 115%. 39% of that has been just in the last 2 years. Now, we haven't grown, or appreciated is a better word, recently. It's down a little bit. all right? But it's a long ways from a crash. And as interest rates improve through spring and summer, you're going to see more demand come back in the market. And at the same time, we haven't been able to build houses fast enough to keep up with that. So you're going to see houses continue to appreciate, all right? So is this a crisis or is this an opportunity? Here's the reality. Inflation is decreasing. The Federal Reserve is having an impact, and we expect inflation to continue to decrease. This means that mortgage rates will also decrease. We expect this by the next 90 to 150 days to get down to a 5% type of a number. All right? Big improvement. There's also going to be a recession-like slowdown. Now, as we discussed, the basic economics behind it, the supply and demand behind that, means that home prices will continue to appreciate because we can't build homes fast enough, especially as when interest rates come down, more and more people come back into increasing the demand side of that equation. Incomes have been increasing, all right? Incomes have increased 9% over the last year. This, with interest rates coming down, means affordability is going to be improving as well. So that also pushes the demand side of that equation higher. There continues to be very tight inventory. We can't build homes fast enough to keep up with the demand, all right? And if you're a first-time home buyer, rents are still expensive, and they are continuing to increase. We see the next 90 days as a tremendous opportunity, all right? You can catch, as a first-time home buyer, catch rates as they're going down, all right? You can also take advantage of the market before many of the people that stepped aside get back into it with rates going down and the demand gets out of control. This is going to go back to a market that feels like it did a year ago, all right, where there's way more demand, multiple offers, than there is supply available. So if you're on the front end of that for the next 90 days, you can take advantage of it. If you have questions, concerns, just want to talk about this a little more, see where it might fit best for you, please give us a call at Waterstone Mortgage. My name is Jeff Anklam. Our phone number is 920-750-5000. Thank you.